What's up, everybody? Stacking Surfer here. Oh, this way. And
And I'm Nick. Over
I
here,
Surfer.
Surfer.
All right. Well, I'm glad to have you on here, Nick, again. And we're going to have a great show today for all of you that are watching. We've got a lot in store for you, so we're looking forward to this good show. So, anyway, what I did want to do, Nick, is as we're getting started today, I had a couple announcements I wanted to share, and then I had a few coins that I did pick up from the Arcadia Coin Show that I was not able to locate. It was in one of my other bags, so I didn't share that the other day, and I do want to share that today. And then I was poking around and retesting the Morgan dollars that I did a trade for, and one of them does not seem like the others. So I want to bring it to the crowd and see if you guys can help me understand if it's real or fake. So we're going to play around with that a little bit today too. And then for those of you that are coming for a very first time, welcome. Today we're going to have Benjamin Schaer from the Goldback company is going to be coming on, and we're going to have a great opportunity to learn more about Goldbacks today. And we're also going to have an opportunity to ask him questions. So when Benjamin comes on, we'll be communicating more with him and doing an interview. And we'll be looking for Q&A from you guys, but we'll leave it up to the mods to kind of help you guys with some of the questions you might have. We won't be able to be as attentive right off the bat to the chat. And then once Benjamin finishes up his section there, we can go into the chat and help you guys with some of that as well. But for those of you that have other friends that may have interest in Goldbacks, please send the link off to them. Let them know that we're running the show today. And we look forward to having Benjamin on in a few minutes. So Nick, I was wondering if you had a favorite coin that you wanted to share one more time.
Well, since you asked, I have this awesome NFL game used kickoff flip coin.
I think that's awesome.
Yes. And of course, we know the T stands for tails.
Yep.
And this was sent to me by the New England Patriots.
That's awesome. Okay. You know, how many people have a coin from the New England Patriots that was used in the game to call who was going to, make the first call on the game, right?
How about who has a flip coin in general that has been used in the NFL for the regular season game?
There you go, for sure.
Yes, this is something I'm still very excited about, as you can see, and I don't think that it's ever going to get old.
I don't think so. Well, let's do it. Let's do a quick shout out to everybody that's coming in here.
Here it comes.
Yeah, it's going to come. So Constitutional Stacker, welcome, and thank you for joining. OC Stacker, we've got Seymour Rivers in the house. Shadrack's in. John Jacobs. We've got Mandy's Candy, welcome.
Mandy's Candy, good to see you.
CWUK, welcome.
Hi.
Hampton Consultants, welcome.
Hampton Consultants, good to see you.
Biggest Unit, I think that's how I pronounce that. Some of these names get all jumbled.
Hampton Consultants, yes, he's a very good friend of mine.
There you go. Old Man Jenkins, welcome. And Silver Patriots, FGNS.
Did you say, and Shadrack, did you see his as well?
I think I mentioned him, yeah. I think I mentioned him too. So welcome, everybody. And then I know there's some of you that are hiding out that haven't hit the thumbs up yet. So please hit that thumbs up. That's going to let more people know that we're doing a live stream right now. And okay, so what I wanted to show real quick, Nick, a couple things I wanted to show the guys and gals here is I picked up a couple coins at the show that that I had found the other day. And this one is kind of cool because it comes from the Constitution Mint in Provo, Utah, which I used to live there. And so this is a really cool coin. I'm really into
coin.
Ship coins. And anyway, this one really caught my eye.
It's a beautiful round. Hi, Silver Wolverine and Invisible River Ranch in Seymour. And also we're over on Stacking Surfers channel. So if you guys want to come on over here.
Yeah, let me see if I can send you guys a link here real quick. That way you can all see each other in the chat. Okay, let me find that real fast for everybody. All right, so look at the link here, guys. If you can go to this one. If you're already in mine, then you don't need to. But if you're in Nick's room, go ahead and hit that. Oh, she beat me to it. All right, so that was the first round that I picked up that was really cool. And then I had 2 more that I did a trade for. So that one I purchased, that was $29 for that round. And then I did a trade for a trade for 2 coins plus $5 for a 2022 Beskar bar. But this is a nice looking Libertad.
That's beautiful. Not my favorite coin, but it's beautiful.
But yeah, they are great coins. So I don't stack these, but I do have a couple of them. So that's a fun one. And then I picked this up for, I've got a doctor I go to on a regular basis, and his receptionist is from Hawaii and loves turtles. So I found, let's see if I can, here we go. I think this is the way I hold the coin. But this is the turtle coin. Look at that.
That is so cute.
So this one's going to her. Anyway, I saw that. So this is a 1/2 ounce from Fiji. And Fiji always has really cool backs.
They do have beautiful.
Just mirror finish, right? So if you ever want to
Beautiful.
catch anybody in a face reveal, you send them a Fiji coin.
You have some of those Hampton consultants. Hi, West Texas Stacker.
And then the other thing I wanted to show everybody, let me see if I can get this working here, is one of my Morgans that I just picked up is not registering. And the sad thing is it's a coin that looked like it was in good enough condition to maybe send in for grading. But I wanted to share this with you guys real quick. So it says, as you guys can see here, it's an 18.
You might want to put yourself big so they can see the coin better.
Let me
if you don't mind.
Oh, that's you, big.
That's me.
Let's make me big. All right.
We'll see.
So here's the coin, everybody, if you guys can see that. It says 1888 on it. All right. And you can see the back of it. It has breast feathers there. Hopefully you can see that. So it looks like it's in really good shape. And on my Sigma, if you look closely, you can see it's set to 1900, right? So I just dropped it. That's why I like putting these things in cases. This one here is an 1884 that you can see. Now these have been circulated, so dropping it's not the worst thing in the world. But watch what happens when I put this one on. Oh, I gotta hit start. Okay, when this one goes on, you can see that it's in there, right, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
When the other one goes on, it's outside of it. So it isn't all the way off. If it was all the way off, it wouldn't be silver, but it does have silver in it. And it weighs just a little bit less than the other ones. So I'm just wondering from any of you guys that might be out here, if you've run into a situation like that where it may be off just a little bit on the weight, just a little under, and it registers, but it doesn't fully register within the brackets on a Sigma. It looks exactly the same as the other coins. I cannot tell anything. So to me, it looks like it's completely valid. But anyway, love to hear your comments on that to see if you guys think it's fake or not.
Seymour said fake.
Well, he's got a question mark there. He's not sure. So that's my question. I don't know if it's fake or not. Let's go to that one. And if it is, it's a pretty darn good looking fake. I've never seen a fake look exactly the same as another Morgan. I can't find anything on it that looks different. It's the same size. It's the same thickness. It's the same diameter. So someone says it's a good fake. So we're going to take it down to a coin store on Saturday, down to Liberty, and we're going to have them test it, and we're going to see if it's a fake. And if it is, that is the best looking fake I've ever found.
Well, they're very good at it.
Yes,
that's how they get away with it, right?
Machine don't lie. Well, You guys, I haven't had it lie before, so I would have to say it doesn't lie. However, it isn't super good at picking up very small fractional grams or 10th ounce gold. It seems to have a little bit of a hard time with that.
With the 1/10 ounce
Yeah.
gold?
Even with
Oh,
the wand, it tends to be a little harder.
oh, okay. So it's not foolproof and it's very expensive.
It is. So we're gonna take it down and we'll have them do the X-ray machine and double check it and see what it is. So I'm really curious about that. All right. So Nick, I don't know if you had anything else, but I wanted to grab our guest and have him join us
Yes,
here.
let's hi Mark B. Let's bring our guest
So
up.
everybody, real quick before we bring Benjamin on, if you haven't seen my previous video, I have a couple videos that are under the Goldback playlist. And on that playlist, you've got the interview I've had with Benjamin in the past in his office. We've also got a video that talks about using Goldbacks at Lowe's and Ace Hardware. And one of them took it, one of them didn't. So that one's kind of fun. And then you can see me also burning the Goldback to prove that there's gold in there. However, Benjamin did point out to me I did it in a pretty rough way with a big lighter. So it was not in a crucible. I was not able to recapture all of the gold. But there was gold in there, guys, so I can verify that for sure. But anyway, we're going to bring him on here right now, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about Goldbacks, as well as do some Q&A. So hopefully you guys are ready with your questions, and hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so far. All right, so we're going to bring Benjamin in here, and here we go. All right, Benjamin, can you hear us okay?
I can. Thanks for having me on.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys too. I was watching the show already so far. It was really interesting. We actually get paid in silver all the time, and I'm very curious about that Morgan. We've had a couple of Morgans come in that have decades of wear on them. I mean, very well circulated, that were underweight on the silver. And I don't think it was the U.S. Mint that made that mistake. I think they were very good fakes. As far back as the 1890s, they were very good fakes. So we'll just have to see.
So my guess is it's a fake. It's a very good one. And, you know, having a fake is good too. I just need to make sure I don't mix it in with the right ones. But
Right.
Show people to be able to help them understand what a fake looks like and what a real one looks like. You know, a lot of the fakes that I've seen are not good fakes. This one is really good if it is fake, and it looks like it probably is.
Yep.
Well, how about
this is a real flip coin?
And that's the real flip coin.
That's not a real flip coin.
That's funny, Nick. So Benjamin, what I wanted to do is see if you could give us a little bit of a history, a brief history of Goldbacks. And also, you know, what do you find to be the most advantageous reason that you use Goldbacks on a regular basis? Because I know you have a wallet with Goldbacks, and that you either buy things locally when you're in Utah, or if you're in a place that doesn't, you try your best to either tip with them, or you may even try to basically do some barter if they don't already have the system set up.
Sure. In a lot of cases, the answer is yes. But even then, I also liquidate them. They're one of the most liquid kinds of precious metals you could have. So why a Goldback, though? Let's start there first. You know, I think everybody who's going to be on one of these channels, on this talk, we understand the value of precious metals, right? That it's not just a fiat, it's not just paper, it's not just imaginary, it's real. You can hold it in your hand, you know you have your value. That's one of the main reasons why these things are valuable, right? And this is why these metals are precious. But it's really hard to use them. If you want to go down to the corner store and pay for, you know, a haircut or something with a Morgan, people have to understand what it is and what it's worth, and that it's worth more than $1 because it says $1 on it. But the dollars today are not the same as the dollars of yesteryear. So why the Goldbacks? The idea was, let's bring back truly fungible money, truly useful money that's actually still precious metals. And let's do it in a way that you don't have to worry about that kind of those trust issues. I mean, like, for example, there are stable coins out there right now where you can buy a share in a gold bar and you can trade the digital tokens as partial ownership in the gold. So it's supposed to be more stable. It is pegged to the gold, but you're never going to hold that gold in your hand, right? Yep. That gold is in a safe somewhere. There's the glint cards you can get, but they're gold. They're golds in Switzerland. You're never going to touch that gold. But with a Goldback, the idea is they're small and convenient enough. Here's my wallet.
Love it.
They're small and convenient enough. They fit in your wallet. And then you have these tiny amounts of gold, tiny enough that you can actually spend it, tiny enough that you can tip or get a haircut or buy a sandwich or whatever you need to do, and do it in the gold itself. And probably the best part is that it's fungible, which means that you can use it in all the ways you normally use money, but you can't normally use precious metals. We got here a 5.
Yep.
And that has exactly 5 times as much gold in it as the 1. So if I owe you 5 Goldbacks, I can give you 1 5 or 5 1s, and there's no difference in premium. And that's the big difference. I mean, for example, your NFL coin there, Nick, that is worth a heck of a lot more than spot, right? Because it's special.
Right.
Right, because it's special. It's got a different premium. It's not just any silver coin. It's a specific silver coin. Well, we don't have that with Goldbacks. You don't have to worry about a difference in premium. They're just the gold, and so you can interchange them any way you want and just use it as cash money. And so that's the basic idea. And you know, our company started out like a lot of these other ones. First, we had a big vaulting facility. People would stackers. You know, at a certain point, you reach a point with your stack. I hope plenty of you have figured this out. Oftentimes people reach a certain point in their stack, they're like, I'm not sure if I really just want to leave that much money under my bed. You know, what if something happens? So then that's when they turn to vaulting companies. So we started out with the vaulting company, where we've got this highly secure tier 2 vault. And then we had like digital ways of people being able to buy it and sell it with each other. So we created a 0 buy sell spread. So you never have to worry about premium. You don't have to have a different buy and a different sell price. We created a market where people could just say, this is the price. Are you buying or selling? And you'd buy or sell for the same price. So that way you don't have to worry about losing money on your premiums. And that was interesting. That was great. But it wasn't a full economy until we thought of the Goldback. And that's when I think that the big benefit is we want to make it possible for businesses to just opt out of fiat currencies and simply use real precious metals in their business, you know, and like you were saying, there's a lot of different places you can do it, but we want to get business owners to build out their whole supply chain where you can have a whole economy that just runs on precious metals. It keeps the money honest, is what I like to say.
I think it's awesome because one of the things I ran into, at least the store I used it, they didn't have enough on hand to pay me change in Goldbacks.
In the Goldbacks?
Yeah. So it was more of something they're willing to take, and then they go and exchange it, but it's really not, it's scale yet for them.
Right. And it is a little bit tricky because, of course, with the changes in the spot price and things like that, the exchange rate does change from day to day. So they have to use some of the tools we have on goldback.com. We have things like a transaction calculator. And then there's ways that they can set up accounts with the vaulting company so that they can liquidate and have set exchange rates. So all those things are useful tools. But yeah, right now we're not ready to abolish the dollar, I guess is my point, right? We're complementary, but we haven't completely ruled out using the dollar. All the businesses that use the Goldbacks use dollars too. So
what was fun though is they had it built in their POS system.
Nice.
So the moment I got there, at least Ace Hardware, not too far from the office there, they knew what to do. They knew what they were. All the employees knew, and right off the bat, they put it in the machine, and it knew exactly what to do and what to spit out. Now, I was really impressed with that. I thought they were going to have to get a calculator out. I thought it was going to maybe take 2 or 3 minutes, and they'd ask me to step aside. It happened just as fast as a credit card transaction. And they took them, no questions asked, nothing. When I went to the other store, when I went to Lowe's, who does not use them, national chain.
Lowe's, of course, is not a local business. We are a local currency.
Yes, it's a local currency. So, but it was a good juxtaposition because they hadn't seen them, and they loved them. They were holding them. They were checking them out, and they were like, "This is the coolest looking money I've ever seen." And you know what I think's great about it too is it takes the term currency into a whole new direction and really turns it back to real money again. When you look at the greenbacks, they're just a currency. There's nothing that backs them except for the full faith of the U.S. government, which is in so much debt. I'm not sure how much faith is left. And the
Right,
money,
we keep getting downgraded, right?
yes,
And if the debt gets too big,
downgraded.
maybe it's not worth anything.
It very well could be. So that can be kind of the tricky thing is, what is it really worth? All that stuff. But the other thing I've really liked about Goldbacks is you can put quite a bit of value in a very small package, and it doesn't weigh a lot. So I'm putting in my 72-hour kits or my bug out kits as currency. So a lot of people will put silver in. Well, when you've got a backpack, if you need to run, I'm in a fire area here. We could have our house burned down very easily. I may only have like 5 minutes to grab whatever I can and go. And if I need to take money with me, it's, I think, a great way to take money versus weighing it down with a bunch of silver. So
right. You can get the same value in Goldbacks as 3 or 4 monster boxes of silver just in your pockets in Goldbacks.
Yeah.
No.
So a comment that just came up, Benjamin, this was something that was interesting is, and I want to explain this to people too. I'm going to do a video with Benjamin about UPMA, which is the vaulting service that he's talking about. And it's a service that I'm in the process of starting to use myself. And what I like about it is that you're buying and selling at spot. So you're not really having to worry about the whole premium thing. There's a slight fee for storage, but it's minimal compared to other vaulting services. I use a vaulting service here in California, and it's expensive. It's very expensive. I don't know that I'll keep doing it. But also I show my face, I show kind of, my area of where I'm at. So I like to keep most of my stuff off premises. So to your point, I
don't want to be a target.
I don't want to be a target. So you can come here and you can have like a Libertad. That's what you get if you come to my house. So maybe a couple of Goldbacks when I get some more back in. But what I was able to do, guys, is if you have an account, and I'm gonna do a video with him, and we'll have a link so you guys can set those accounts up. You're able to buy the Goldbacks at a discount, okay? And when you're able to buy those, and you go use them where the exchange rate's being used, okay? So that can be a local business that's in a state that accepts Goldbacks, and they don't have to be Utah to use in Utah. You can use any of the 5, I guess 6 states now. Or is it? I think it's 6 now.
It's Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, South Dakota, and New Hampshire.
Okay, so it's 5.
So it's 5, but a 6th one
there.
is coming, hopefully early next year.
I heard a 6th one was coming. So you can use any of those there. But what happens is you pull up the app and you see the exchange rate. Okay, some of them have it built into their POS. If I'm in California and I want to tip someone with it, or I want to talk to a small business owner, I can also pull up the calculator and show them this is exactly what they're worth. And that's what they should be able to exchange them for. So when I went to Ace Hardware and I bought something, because I paid less than the $4 exchange rate for them, I did get about a 9% benefit using Goldbacks versus a credit card or Fiat Dollars.
So here's the interesting thing to think about it. Now, when you think in terms of stacking, it's most about how much money can I save, and how do I make sure I secure that money by buying precious metals. The Goldbacks, however, they can be part of the regular flow of money in your life. We all have some kind of outlay. We all have bills. Most of us have some kind of income where the money's coming in to pay those bills. But you can actually insert Goldbacks and some of these services directly in the middle of that flow of money through your life. And when you do that, you can take advantage of this arbitrage you're talking about. This as much as 9%, if you get the Goldbacks really cheap, that you can you can make a little bit of money. You can save some money, and so why not do that? If you're gonna be spending several $1,000s a month, and you could save 5, maybe even 9% of your money just by using precious metals, just by promoting the use of precious metals, well, who wouldn't want to do that, right? Well, the main thing is you got to find out how. You can ask your landlord, if you're a renter, if they'll take payment in gold. You can ask if your local businesses will do it. But even then, with these other services like you were talking about, we can actually monetize this in a way that precious metals have never fully been monetized before, because of course it's always valuable to stack your silver, to stack your gold. But the full suite of financial services have only really been available to people through their banks or something like that when they're using US dollars, not when they're using precious metals, right? Well, almost all of those services are now available in Goldbacks, also in legal tender gold and silver, like as through the mint, through these services. You can do your IRAs in Goldbacks now. You can do these types of checking and savings types things. You can get it on a card where your little credit card that you stick in the machine has Goldbacks in the background, and then just runs on the Visa network in the foreground for the people who don't know what a Goldback is. So there's so many more possibilities now where you're stacking, but you're also, and you can save that way, but you can also just start spending. And then you can make it a regular part of the flow of money in your life. Well, shoot, when it all hits the fan, I bet you'd be really happy if a little bit of it was in a place where it might be going up instead of going down like everything else has been.
I think so. I think that's a lot. It's a pretty good percentage of people that are on the channel, as well as people that are stacking. Like when I say pretty good, I'm talking like 80% of us are probably worried about those scenarios and looking after things.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are just into silver. They're getting started. They may be on tight budgets. But when you get to the point where you're trying to retain your wealth and, try to fight that inflation, the gold is the best thing to be in. So that's, a lot of people are doing that. And, it's interesting with Goldbacks. I find there's two camps of people. There's the camp of people that understand the value of them and or the art and collectability of them. So there's that factor, and there's a lot of love for them. Or there's the people that tend to not understand them, and they're looking just for weight. And when they're looking at weight, they don't understand the ability to have these also function as a currency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're looking just for weight, people are like, oh, I need to buy my gold at least 1 kilo bar at a time. I need a big weight, because that way I can get really close to spot. The problem there actually goes back to something you inadvertently touched on already earlier with the idea of maybe a fake Morgan, is that the bigger it is, the easier it is to counterfeit. Yeah, you're going to get it closer to spot, but it's also much less useful. It's really, really hard to liquidate a gold bar. And when you do, in most cases, just to protect themselves, even good, reputable gold dealers will melt it down before they will pay you. It's a long turnaround. It's difficult. I found these. I was really surprised. I read fairly recently about these Credit Suisse bars. They were 10-ounce bars. They passed just fine on the Sigma machine. They weighed exactly right, but they had tungsten inside them. It was only about one. It was almost a full ounce of actual pure gold, about a full ounce wrapped around 9 ounces of tungsten.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'd hate to be holding one of those, thinking that I had a real gold bar, and it turns out I've only got 1 ounce, not 10. And that's the kind of problems that you run into when you run. So one of the things you want to do is you want to have security. And honestly, that's one of the funnest things about this, is not only does a Goldback have like the highest security of any precious metal product, it's also the smallest, meaning this is the last one they're even going to try to counterfeit anyway, right? One Goldback's still only worth about $4, a little more than $4 right now. Nobody's going to spend $5 million to try to figure out how to counterfeit a $4 Goldback. But they're doing it like crazy right now. I think most of it's coming out of China, trying to make fake Morgans, fake gold bars, fake silver coins of all kinds. We get them fairly often. Every month or two, someone will come in with a nice big stack of silver. They'll say, we want to get into this Goldback thing. We say, hey, we're not fools. We'll take silver. We take in their silver, but then we test it all. And sometimes we'll find 3 or 4 mixed in with the good stuff, 3 or 4 fakes. And it's like, what a waste, but there's just so many fakes out there right now.
Yeah.
There's a ton out there, and a Morgan or a Silver Eagle is one thing. A gold ounce is a lot different. You really don't want to be stuck with a fake gold eagle or gold buffalo.
Right.
Horrible.
That would be a very
Okay,
bad
so
day.
what I wanted to do real quick is those that are watching right now, please hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so. But Nick, do we have some questions from the audience that we can ask
Let's
Benjamin?
see if we have something come through.
Ask me all the hard questions. I'm not afraid of them.
All right, guys, put your questions down there for us. Well, for Benjamin here.
Okay, here we go.
That's a tough one.
I want to know your answer on that one. Have you
All
guys?
right, does Benjamin think California will get on board with the Goldbacks? Don't get me wrong. I think we want to be in all the markets. We want to make Goldbacks the international gold standard, literally everywhere. Of course, right now we're just that, and that's pretty aspirational, right? Right now we're just small local currencies. California is a huge market. There's three things that we need in order to launch a Goldback series in any jurisdiction. This is internationally as well as individual states. We need friendly enough laws that can't be illegal. We try to be very careful about that. I'm an attorney. We do our best to make sure that we're fully compliant with all laws, rules, and regulations. California has some hangups there. The state of California currently charges taxes on all precious metals for any transaction under $2,000.
Yeah.
It used to be $1,500, but they upped it to $2,000. That's a bummer because this is only $4, right? And we want you to be able to buy a sandwich. Let's say you go in to buy that sandwich, and in California they want to tax the sandwich and they want to tax the money that you're buying the sandwich with. Well, then who pays what? Do I pay a tax and he pays a tax? The answer is that there's no simple answer on how that would function, and it makes it very difficult for us to be confident that we can function fully legally in the state. The second thing we need is we need an investor. The Federal Reserve can print their money out of thin air, basically, right? They just do some keystrokes and create most of it. They don't even print most of the money that dollars that are in circulation. And when they print it, they just print it on paper. So they can print it. Their costs are really low compared to ours. We have to actually have a ton of gold to make a splash in the California economy. I'm guessing somewhere between $20 and $30 million in investments is what we need in order to manufacture enough Goldbacks just to launch day one in California. So we need investors.
I do have a question. If all states are not willing to take the Goldbacks, how does that benefit us?
Well, I think
to buy things with.
Sure. The thing that's really great is that if there's any market that does, you can always liquidate. I feel like we're changing the topic here. I want to say one more thing. One more thing we need in the state of California. We want a business network. We want people who will take it. Now you're saying, how does it benefit you if you're not in a place that has one of these business networks? It's kind of your question, right?
Yes,
well,
absolutely.
Same way that any other gold or silver benefits you. This has the additional benefit above other gold and silver products as having a network where people will take it. But right now there's no market anywhere that takes most silver rounds, for example, but I still find them valuable. And you can still liquidate them. And the fact that there are markets that exist makes them so much more easy to liquidate. Even if you're in California, even if you're in China, even if you're in Indonesia, it's still easier to use a Goldback than it is to use a gold bar. Why? You can settle on the exact amount you want to purchase or liquidate, right down to a $4 increment, right? That's cheaper than 1 ounce of silver. So you can hone right in on whatever price you want to do. And because there's a market for them, you can sell them back into that market. And that market is growing very quickly in the 5 states we're already operating in. So let's say you just wanted to stack, let's say at $20,000, you're like, I don't want this in the markets right now. I don't want this in the dollar right now. What am I going to put it in? Well, I'm going to either buy a monster box of silver or I'm going to buy a bunch of Goldbacks. Which one am I going to do? Well, it's easier to buy the Goldbacks and easier to sell the Goldbacks without losing any money on premiums than it is to buy the monster box of silver and sell the monster box of silver. Because there's a market. There's a market for monster boxes of silver, of course, but there's a market in the economy to circulate the Goldbacks. Makes it much easier to liquidate, much faster. So that's the main benefit of there being a market, even if you're not like living in that market.
That makes sense. So we got a question that is, can Utah, you answered this earlier, but can a Utah note be used in New Hampshire?
It can. We do use specific state art, right? To try to help draw people to it, help people understand the product. But it's the same amount of gold in a Goldback, whether it's a Utah Goldback or a New Hampshire Goldback or South Dakota Goldback. And the laws in each of those states recognize the legal tender status of gold or silver, regardless of its who manufactures it or what art is on it, right? So you could think of them like the state quarters. You can use a Louisiana quarter anywhere, it's still a quarter. Same thing with a Goldback. No matter which artwork you find on it, it still has the same face value and the same legal status. So Utah, for example, has legal status as legal tender for gold and silver. And it doesn't matter if it says New Hampshire or even Perth Australian Mint, for example, or Britannia from the UK. It still can be recognized as legal tender in the state of Utah. So yeah, fully interchangeable. But we're trying to, of course, play on the local history and things like that, so the people will get excited about having their own local money.
That sounds great. So another question I have too is, someone had mentioned who backs Goldback, and I think what they may be meaning there is if a store owner takes them and there's an exchange rate at $4, how does that work?
Gotcha. Okay. Well, to me, those are two different questions. I'll answer both of them.
Yep, that'd be great.
Who backs Goldbacks? I've had people say, "Wait a second, you're telling me if I give you one of these, you're going to give me real gold?" And I tell them, actually, this is the real gold, right? It's already in there. Now it's very thin, right? But it's a laminated piece of actual gold. So what backs it up in the first place is that it is the gold. That transcends trust. It doesn't matter who exchanges it. It's gold. But there's a second way it's backed up. If you look at the very bottom of a Goldback, I'm going to try to put this really close to the camera. I'm not sure if it'll pick it up. Yeah, not really. Sorry about that. It's all blurry. At the bottom of a Goldback, underneath the weight of the individual note, this one Goldback is 1/1000th of a troy ounce. It says exchangeable by Goldback Inc. in U.S. gold coin to the bearer on demand. So it is not just made out of gold. It is actually backed up by gold in the Goldback vaults. You can exchange, if you thought of this not as a piece of gold, but you thought of this as a certificate for gold holdings, it is also a certificate for gold holdings in U.S. minted gold. There's some legal advantages to that because U.S. minted gold is legally recognized as legal tender, even at a federal level. And so what we're doing is we're tying this as a legal tender instrument or a negotiable instrument, a document that has a certain legal status under the Uniform Commercial Code. So yes, it's also backed up by gold in the vaults, 1-to-1. So you not only have gold in your hand, you have gold in the vault you can also redeem. Okay. And then the other question, the other way you're looking at it is what backs it up so that when it's in commerce, how do I know I'm going to get my value back out of it, right? The main thing is that there's plenty of other places they can go. If you're a shop owner and you accept the Goldbacks, in fact, you can go on goldback.com and sign up your business. Anywhere in the world, you can sign up your business to be a business that accepts Goldbacks. We are only publishing our local networks in the states we're operating in right now, but it's good to have people's info. So I would encourage people to do that. But they can save them because they're gold. They can spend them in the network because there's a network. They can liquidate them. But here's my favorite thing that a shop owner can do, even though the shop owner you visited wasn't doing it, because I think he's hoarding the gold a little bit. I know the guy who owns the Ace Hardware chains out there, because he's talked to us about this. He's like, no, I'm more than happy to give lots of change in USD because I want to keep the gold. You know,
he's stacking.
He's stacking them, right? But here's the other thing that you can do is you can give them out as change. Any business can just say, when someone comes in and pays in cash, they can say, hey, do you want your change in paper or in gold? If you start giving people Goldbacks as change, they're going to remember where they got that Goldback, and they're going to come back to that business and spend it again and again and again. Right. And that can drive a certain kind of return loyalty, because once you hold them in your hand, that's really what what sells it, is holding it in your hand, seeing the gold for yourself. Pictures never do them justice. When you see that yellow shiny metal, bright as a mirror, it changes your attitude, and that's the way it does the same thing for your customers. Your customers are going to want to come back again and again and get more Goldbacks. So those are all the different things that someone can do with them, and so we're confident that they have value regardless. Which sort of goes into one that I saw just before this question, which was, what if I want to get the gold out of them, right? And you also mentioned earlier you lit one on fire with a lighter.
Mhm.
Right. So here's the thing. They are designed to be fully recoverable. The gold is designed to be fully recoverable. However, I will warn you, it loses a ton of its marketability. This is a certified, tamper-proof, type of gold. This cannot be counterfeited. This has a specific exchange rate. Gold shot, lumps of little bits of gold, those do not have any of those guarantees. Therefore, the market value of them is always less. So I wouldn't encourage people to do a lot of this, but we do it. We do it daily, actually, in our manufacturing facilities, where we melt them down and test the remaining gold. It's one of our assaying methods, is the fire assay. But also there's damaged Goldbacks, things that were cut wrong, things that were the edge of a sheet, all kinds of stuff like that. We're not going to waste that gold, right? So we melt them down all the time. But what you have to do is you have to put it in a proper crucible, a proper covered crucible.
Not a cereal bowl, people.
Not a cereal bowl. The ink
experiment.
Right, the ink and the polymer. Because it's actually a proprietary form of polyester. They're almost indestructible. I mean, you really can't rip them in half or anything. It should vaporize at a lower temperature than gold's true melt temperature. And for example, the lighter did not melt the gold. It just broke it into pieces. But if you get to the melt of gold, the gold will actually coalesce before it vaporizes. So you hit the right temperatures here in your crucible. The gold will coalesce into a small BB that you can then test its weight and purity and see that most Goldbacks are about 1 to 2% over what is promised, because we can't take any chance that any of them are ever under, otherwise we'll lose our credibility. So they're always just a little bit over the face value.
So, okay, so a question then that came up too is, if gold goes to $5,000 spot, do you have a calculation? Someone else was saying maybe they did a calculation where it may be $10 for a one Goldback. And
yeah, that sounds about right. If it was $5,000 spot, yeah. And that would make it a little harder to buy a sandwich. But don't forget, inflation always catches up. It'll be the amazing $10 value menu at McDonald's before you know it, if gold goes up that high. Because that'll just mean I like to think of it this way. Gold and silver, their value is fairly stable. Now, it can fluctuate on big questions. Silver has taken some really interesting moves in its gold-silver ratio. That's partly due, I think, to industrial uses, industrial needs changing over time. But generally, I think of the gold as stable. It's the dollar that's fluctuating. It's the US dollar that sometimes can buy more gold, sometimes can buy less gold. And if gold goes up to 5,000 an ounce, it won't be because gold is necessarily more valuable than it was before, as much as the dollar is worth less than it was before.
So should we be looking at Goldbacks based on a dollar value, or should we be looking at them based on what it can purchase? Meaning a one Goldback can buy you a sandwich versus $4.
Right. That's definitely the way I look at it. When I have a Goldback in my wallet, I think to myself, yeah, I know that this can buy me a certain amount of goods and services.
Yeah.
Whereas, looking at the dollars are going to change. And mostly the dollars are going to continue to lose their value through inflation. That's not a surprise to anybody. They just want to keep it down to 2% a year instead of nearly 10% or more a year as it has been over the last year. So.
Well, Benjamin, I want to thank you for coming on. I know we kept you a few minutes over the 30-minute mark here, but let's see. Do we have one last comment?
This is
Nick?
a good question.
Okay, let's take this to our last question.
Yes, these mostly Nevada is a little bit different. Each state's laws are slightly nuanced in different ways. But yes, most of the states do accept gold coins as well. In fact, here's a hint for some of the places that Goldback might be looking to go. There's actually several states that recognize the legal tender status of gold. Texas does, Oklahoma, Idaho, Montana, a bunch of states all recognize gold as legal tender. And that means that in those states, you can use the Goldbacks right now. For example, in Idaho, there's already over 50 businesses circulating the Utah Goldbacks. They don't have their own design, but it's still legal to use there, and they're already doing it, even without us promoting it as having a specific state design for them. And yeah, they do accept gold coins as well. For example, you could pay your state taxes or your property taxes here in the state of Utah. You could pay it in gold or silver coin. The problem you're going to run into is the state also, just like a lot of businesses, haven't really figured out their exchange rates, don't really have their system down. And that's what we're trying to do at Goldback, is kind of educate people how to go back to a gold standard voluntarily by learning how to circulate it.
I know in my state, they do not take gold. So
can you pay for parking tickets with Goldbacks? I want to say theoretically, yes. Theoretically, yes. I do not know that anyone's ever attempted it. And if you did, I'm sure they'd be quite confused. I do know a guy who ran for office and wanted to pay for his, there's a fee to be on the ballot, right? He's running for Congress as a libertarian candidate here in Utah for a special election. The 2nd district here is electing a new representative. Anyway, he went in to register his candidacy. He said, I want to pay in Goldbacks. And this at the state office, they were like, that's on the books, but we just don't know how to calculate it. You know what I mean? And we don't know what to do with it once you give it to us. And he said, you guys should sort that out, because the legislature did make a law that says that you accept this. And so we've been talking to Marlo Oakes, the state treasurer, about really what they need to do in order to have a system is that the state should have a gold repository system. Texas has one of those. That works in Texas. But that's about the only state I think you could probably pay your parking tickets in Goldbacks right now, because they do have a state repository, so it should work.
Yeah. So Sean, I'm going to just say, don't get parking tickets.
Yeah, just avoid that.
The best thing.
Completely.
You know, the other thing too is when you look at your wallet, there's this law, right? That bad money crowds out good money. People will often look at their wallet and they'll see the Goldbacks, and then they'll see paper money, and they'll think, why would I want to spend my gold? I'm going to hang on to this. You know, I don't want to give up my stack. We're trying to turn that on its head with the Goldbacks and say, no, go ahead and spend the Goldbacks. Just get new ones. You know, just turn all your paper into Goldbacks and spend the Goldbacks. You'll save a few percentage points. It's good for your wallet. It's good for the cause. But when it comes to taxes, parking tickets, crap like that, usually people are more than happy to just part with some of their Federal Reserve dollars that are losing their value anyway, rather than give up their gold.
I think it's true. And the last thing I'll say on that too is, if you think inflation is going to keep going up, which I do, you know, I try to use my greenbacks as much as I can, meaning a year ago, I bought a ton of supplies that I knew I was going to need for 2023. And I bought them in 2022, and that was one of my best investments. Actually, some of it I bought in 2021, so I was actually saved about 20%.
Wow!
Things like shampoo and, you know, flossers and just other products, and all of a sudden, not only is it more expensive, you get a smaller amount now. So it does. It keeps evaporating. You know. Anyway, the money just keeps disappearing on us, guys. So. Well, Benjamin, thank you so much for coming on. We'd love to have you on another time in the future, and
sure,
we look forward to having more interactions with Goldbacks. I definitely enjoy them, so I'll be doing more videos on it for sure. And anyway,
they are beautiful. That's for sure. The artwork's gorgeous. They are beautiful.
You know, I think the new South Dakota designs that just came out, I think they might be the best ones we've made yet. I mean, the art is just stunning.
I don't have any yet, but I saw them at a coin show I was at.
Nice.
And, they were asking too much for them. Some people are not treating them correctly, and they're trying to, create a big margin on them.
So this is one of the other reasons why what we really need to do is get people getting into that system where they can use all the monetary services. That'll crowd out the secondary market, marking them up too high, because then people will be able to just exchange them at the exchange rate back and forth and not have to worry about those premiums so much. I'd love to help you and your viewers do that a little bit more.
We would love to do that. So thank you so much.
I still have so much more I want to learn, but it was very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Benjamin.
Bye.
Okay, there we go. We haven't done that before with the software. We're gonna figure out how to do that.
That was very informative, very interesting.
All right, there we go. First time using the software with an interview person and a third person on. So hopefully that worked out really well.
I'd like to have him again. I think that we could ask so many more questions. I think it's a learning curve for me. I need to learn more about them.
Well, it is, and it's it was kind of a learning curve of using them. I didn't know if when I went and talked to someone if they would know what to do with them. Right when I went into the store, I didn't know if they would look at me weird or anything else. They said no, we love Goldbacks, and they just took them. And
that's amazing.
Probably one of the reasons is the owner's probably hoarding these things and putting them all in a safe. So if that's the case, there's no way he's going to be giving them back out.
Right. I did go to a store in New Hampshire that the website said that would take them, and they did not accept them. So that's one thing too. I'd like to ask him next time on what we would do in a situation like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. So for me, I'm going to be visiting family up in Utah again, and I'm also in the process of getting my UPMA account all set up. And as I do that, I'll be sharing that with you guys, how to do that, what the process is, why I think it's something that is important to do as part of your stack. And I'll be sharing with you some of those instruments that Benjamin's talking about on how you can make some money and utilize some of those banking, services that you get. So we'll do some more information on that, hopefully in the next week or so to get that for you. Okay, we got a question here from Sufer Info. I can help. Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so Sufer Info also is an authorized partner of Goldbacks, I think is what he's saying. So yeah, any information would be great. I've had another gentleman reach out to me on my channel as well with some information he shared with me. So I've got documented information that I need to dive through with you guys. But overall, I think it's, for me, I've talked about stacking in multiple ways, Nick, right? And sometimes that's having jewelry. So if you've got a gold ring on your hand versus this is just a tungsten ring that's not really worth a whole lot. You have the opportunity to do some bartering and trade if you had a gold ring and you needed to, right? Some people are buying these little silver credit cards that you just put in your wallet in one of the credit card slots. Goldbacks are another thing you could put in a wallet and have as either a backup currency or something that you try to use. So, honestly, I think there's a lot that can be done with them. And I know Gold Maple was talking on a couple of the streams earlier that it's probably not something he's into, but it's
and
not
he's in Canada. Are they in Canada? Can they be used in Canada?
I don't know. Can they be used in Canada? You guys, they can be used anywhere in the world that someone's willing to trade you for gold. It's just gold. That's it. The reality is if you melt it down, as Benjamin said, you're going to get about $1.96 to $2 worth of gold in there. The reason it has more value is because it's able to be exchanged at a certain rate. And that rate right now is $4 and change. So as long as that exchange rate is accepted, you've got that. Now, how does that exchange rate be held up? It's because the company is willing to buy them back from you at that cost. So
okay. Well, that makes sense. I didn't know that it was the company going to be buying them back from us.
So what he was showing earlier, but it wasn't showing up on the screen, is if you go right below it, Nick, you'll see the 1/1000th of an ounce.
Yes.
And then below that, you'll see it's fully backed.
Okay, that makes more. Okay, gotcha.
Exchange it for the $4 worth of gold from the vaults. So it is fully backed. So if you guys have any questions on that, that is what they're doing. So as long as they have gold in their vaults which they're holding dollar to dollar, and they get that stuff audited, they're they're doing all that stuff. So you can go check into those records. Unlike Fort Knox, we don't have any records we can check on that, unfortunately. So you have that backing. So when a lot of people say, hey, it's not worth that much, it doesn't have this, they've done their homework on this stuff, guys. And I've looked through it a lot. So it really comes down to your comfort level, but it comes down to why are you stacking and how are you going to do it? So,
And a lot of this too is us educating ourselves with it, because it is fairly new. It's a fairly new concept. So it's about education and getting that out there and understanding it.
it totally is. So let me see if we had any other questions on here.
Oh, this is right here.
Okay. They do have their own serial number as well. The real question we forgot to ask Benjamin is, do they have star notes?
Well, I don't know, because he said that they melt them down too. So
they do. My guess is I wonder if they recycle the serial number.
We had a raid from Mad Stacker's channel as well just a few minutes ago. So welcome.
So this is interesting. We'll throw this up for a second here. So I don't want to say the name out loud. I don't know if YouTube's going to freak out over that, but other currencies are still using some silver and are backed by gold. So that's interesting. Okay, let's see.
Oh, here we go. Here's an answer to that question.
No recycled serial numbers. Okay, so that helps. Okay, so here's another question. I don't know if Sufer Info can help us with that too. Oh,
how about
okay.
this one?
Okay, what's the premium? So technically there is no premium on these if you buy them from them. If you buy them from the online bullion dealers, so any of them that are carrying it, right? There's a ton of them that carry these. Be very careful when you're looking at the smaller denominations like the ones. I think I was looking at, I don't want to say the name of which place because I'm gonna get their pricing messed up, but the big guys that you go to, that people go to, the names are all over the place that you hear about, they will oftentimes be selling them for a lot more than $4, which is what their exchange rate is. So if you're buying them for more than $4 or you're acquiring them for more than $4, you're paying a premium. That premium is not going back to the Goldback company though. That premium is going to whoever you exchange the Goldbacks for. The Carrot Pay has 0.1 gram in the actual card. That's my guess. That's what they're saying. I haven't really played around with that or seen that very much yet. Yeah, it's currency, so there's no premium on it. But if you go to a coin show or a local coin store, coin shop, and they're selling you a Goldback for $6, you're paying a premium to that store, but you're not paying a premium to the company.
There should be a website too, I'm sure, that you can go look at as well. Do you have that website?
Yeah, so let me see if I can find it for you guys. I mean, it's just goldback.com, but let me see if I can find the link that takes you to the right place.
And it has all the states and that are currently accepting them.
And just another thing to throw out to all of you guys, this is not a paid sponsorship. We're not financial advisors. I was able to stop by Benjamin's office about a month and a half ago, and he was nice enough to take me in at 6 o'clock at night. We did an interview. We're just building our channels and sharing information with you guys. We don't get paid anything from Goldback. And honestly,
he is their legal counsel as well, so he can answer all those questions.
So right now, Nick, the Goldback's going for $4.13 is the exchange.
So if I was to send this back to the company, I would get $4 back?
And 13 cents.
And 13 cents for just $1.
Well, for the one Goldback, because it's not technically $1 would be.
Well, right. Again, that's just habit a little bit. But the one Goldback I would get $4.13.
That's what I'm told.
So if I was to purchase this right now, how much would I pay for it?
Well, okay, so let's just look it up real quick. We'll look up a couple stores. So let me see if I can pull it up here for a second.
And he did shiny. He used them in Utah, I believe, at the hardware store.
Yes, I did, and it was pretty easy to use them. Okay, so I'm going to go to SD Bullion because a lot of people like to go there. Let me see if I can just pull up Goldbacks. Okay, here we go. So, okay, Nick, let me see if I can share my screen real quick. All right, so I'm going
Lisa, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And great.
So we're going to share the screen for a second here, guys. All right, so the Goldback here is a little bit more expensive when you're buying it in the one denomination on online sites. Okay, so this is not anything to slight SD Bullion. We can pull up all the sites, and they're going to be more expensive than the $4.13. What you can tell though is when you get into a 5 Goldback, which is 5 times that, right? The price starts to change. Okay. So as you get into the larger denominations online, you're able to get a much better price for them per 1 Goldback denomination. Let's go to, we'll go to Monument Metals too. You guys will be able to see. Can you see my screen going to Monument Metals?
Yes.
Okay. Well, look like I can get them there. Let's go to AppMex. Oh.
I hope not gold maple.
Okay, so Goldbacks here are a little bit more expensive than SD, at least for the 1. But you can see once you get up to 5, they're about the same price. So you get a good price on these larger ones, guys. It's just the ones that I would recommend staying away from when you're looking at purchasing them online. It's the ones that can be pretty pricey. So I did talk to Benjamin a little bit earlier today, and I'm going to work with him on getting a video put together to talk about UPMA, how that works.
Yes.
That's a service that allows you to buy and sell at spot, and then there's a small premium for leaving your gold there. And it's Gold Eagles, it's Silver Eagles that they have there, or you can do Goldbacks is another option. So, you know, what I like about these guys is, one, they're trying really hard to help us get real money into the currency and used as currency. And as Sufer Info is mentioning there, UPMA members get a discount. So that's how I was able to buy them for $3.65 when they were trading at $4, is I'm a UPMA member. So I was able to set that up. So that's something that we'll be doing on the video to help you guys.
Yes, I do hope you do those videos again, because I think it's a lot of the information that we do not know at this moment. So I think the more I know, the more I might get on board.
For sure. I mean, I'm in the same boat. Someone introduced me to UPMA like 3 years ago. And it took me about 1.5 years to set up an account. And then, you know, I'm just barely starting to use it now. But, you know, you get different learning curves. And then as you get new information, you decide, okay, that makes more sense. Now I understand how to do that.
Yeah, a little bit does make more sense.
Yeah.
Since we've asked him questions, but again, a lot of it's still a little bit foreign to me. So, but I do want to learn more. I am very interested. Hi, Off-Road Adventure.
OC Stacker, we'll get all that information to you this next week. Let's see. Here's an interesting one too, Nick. They know the Fed is planning on eliminating currency for CBDCs. So what's going to be interesting is, I think what we may run into is a federal thing where the greenbacks start disappearing, but you have a bunch of states that are accepting goldbacks. That could be really interesting. I think that would be interesting to see them using that. see. So Invisible River Ranch, $6 is worth $4. There's a 33 premium. There's not a premium if you buy them for $4. If you acquire them at $4, there's no premium. So what I'm saying is go acquire them for $4. Go get them for $4.13 or go get them below that. And there's ways to do that. And that's through the UPMA bank. Or it's not a bank, sorry, it's a vaulting service. But I'll show you guys. I'm going to be having a video come out this next week, hopefully, showing you how to do that. All right.
Yeah, I don't believe it's going to crack down on money laundering.
I don't think so, guys. I don't think CBDCs have any. I don't think they care about money laundering. I don't think they're
I don't think so either.
On that.
I really don't. I think they'll be able to hide it easier.
I think it's a control mechanism. Is what it is, and I think it's a centralization of everything. If they really cared about stuff like that, they'd be breaking up companies from monopoly powers, and they don't seem to be doing any of that anymore.
And so I think that you were explaining this earlier.
The best price, guys, is to either buy them directly from Goldback. So
deal. Yeah.
So Alpine Gold is a good place you can buy them from. They have a handful of other places, but if you go to Alpine Gold right now, they're $3.80. So let me show you on this screen, Nick. This will be helpful.
Okay.
Let me figure out this again.
That's true. They are backed by money laundering.
Okay. So do you see this okay? Hopefully, everybody. So here's a list of places you can go to buy Goldbacks. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to pick the first one, Alpine Gold. That's where I was at. And they are selling for $3.80 from Alpine Gold. So that's where I go buy them. You can get these for $19. I think that's about the price SD bullion was going for, maybe just a little bit more. But it's about how you buy these if you're really going to use these. And if you have a UPMA account and you buy them, you're going to get a discount on that. Oh, it's the same company. Okay. So, yeah, I guess I already knew that. So that's really what happens there. So that's what I have to say about Goldbacks, guys. I think to me, it's something that I'm looking to acquire more of them. I've had a lot of fun showing them to people. It kind of blows their mind. They're like, "What is this? That's a little piece of gold." I've had people take them for tip. I did not make a video about it, but they thought they were pretty darn cool. And what I'd love to see is a business card get made out of it. It's kind of an expensive business card, but it'd be kind of fun to have your information on the backside of it. It would be cool. Alpine Gold is more of the commercial face. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Sufer Info.
Yes, I appreciate him being in the chat and able to answer some of these questions.
Steve Woods just figured out his retirement plan. So, Steve, I don't know if they have a limit or if they are on to people like you. But
well, it may start as such now.
But yeah, so I mean, that's theoretically how it works, guys. So when I went to the hardware store, I gave 2 Goldbacks, which was trading exactly at $4 US on that day. So it was perfect. And what I was buying was $7.50. So I used 2 Goldbacks. I got 50 cents back, and I only paid $3.65 for them. So I ended up saving more money than if I had just used my dollars, which was pretty cool. So my dad was with me, and he started looking at that and thinking about it. And he was thinking like Steve Woods, just like I was. I'm thinking, hey, there's a little bit of an arbitrage play here that you could potentially take advantage of. I had someone else email me if they did $100,000 worth. I don't think it's going to work quite like that, guys. You don't want to break the system as we're trying to get it up and running. But that is how it does work. So Sufer Info is also mentioning this. I do know about this. We will cover that off on the video this next week. one thing you can do is get a yield. So right now, my silver that's sitting here, all these coins, there's no yield on these things, right? They just sit here. I can put them really close together and they do not multiply. These things do not know how to breed or anything like that. So, but if you have a UPMA account and you have Goldbacks in it, it does not work for the silver and gold as far as I know. I think it's just the Goldbacks. There is a yield that is paid, similar to getting like a, kind of a medium to high yield savings account in a bank.
So do we want to do a giveaway on a couple Goldbacks, Surfer?
I don't know. Do you guys want to do a giveaway? Let's do this. Put a 1 in the comment section if you would like to see us do a Goldback giveaway tonight.
Instead of getting some of Nick's coins, we can get some of Nick's Goldbacks.
Yeah, it's going to change to Nick's Goldback.
Yeah, well, it is very interesting, and I can tell you, I really didn't know a lot about it. So I am glad to get the information.
Okay, we got a bunch of 1s and then we got a random 9. So
a lot of food for thought.
The 1 and the 9 are not next to each other. I'm not sure how that would happen.
Nick is gold. Grade 8. You're Scott. You're awesome.
Anyway, that's funny.
Let me put my food down.
All right. Well, we're going to have to come up with a question here, and it can't be what's Nick's favorite football team. That one's too easy. Or her favorite coin. We already know that.
What is my favorite coin? I mean, does the chat know, or should I show them again?
You can show them again, just not as the question.
Oh, okay. This is my favorite coin now.
There you go, guys.
And I'm sure it's probably worth like $1 million.
It's probably a fake, Nick. I don't know. We're going to have to test it on the Sigma. I'm just kidding.
Well, if you do that, it would come out, it wouldn't show silver, but it's a whole bunch of awesomeness.
All right. Well, I think we got enough people in here that we ought to do this. So
okay, Mark B.
I think we just had about 42 people in here. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. Do you have a question, or do you need me to come up with one?
I do seem to want, I'm very interested, Silver Schaer. I really am. I have a lot to learn. But I am very interested to learn more and to see how it can benefit me living in a state that does not accept them. And probably
Disneyland will not take them. I've tried several times.
We could do a number. Let's do a number.
You want to do a number? All right, let's do a number. Okay, do you have a piece of, I don't have a pen with me right now, but do you have a piece of paper you can write a number down?
I do. So we have 40 in here right now, I'm showing.
Okay.
If Brady signed it. No, Brady didn't sign it, and that's okay because, he's old news. So I'm out with the old and in with the new people. Brady's over.
All right, so let us know when you got your number, Nick.
Okay, so, all right, I got it.
Okay, so we need to have a range for people to pick from.
Okay, 1 to 50.
Okay, guys, so from 1 to 50, go ahead and put one answer in only.
Do you want to put go first, or do you want them just random? And one guess until we see it, please.
Yeah, on your mark, get set. I'll type it in here.
Go. Oh, see.
There you go. Go, go. All right, the numbers are coming in. Can people go over the number, or do they have to over under?
I just saw the number, and it is B3.
Uh-oh. Who got it first?
I believe it was B3.
Okay, where are we at?
There's
okay, what number did you have?
33.
33. Okay. Yeah, B3. I think B3 is the first. Congratulations on the Goldback.
So I'm going to put my email address in the chat so he can send me his address. And we have one more.
Uh-oh, we got to do another one. You guys want another one?
I have to pick another number. Okay, I got it. We're going to do the same 1 through 50.
It's going to be the same number.
No, it's not. I'm going to do a different one.
Oh, gosh.
All right, I got it.
You guys don't guess yet. You got to stop. We're going to start.
I had to
You
think
gotta
of one
wait.
first, chat.
You got to wait.
Okay.
You got to wait until we say go, guys. And it's
Okay.
only one guess.
Okay. So hit go. Well, I guess you and I both are. You could fix that 2 on the bottom if you want to, and just hit yourself.
That's funny.
Okay, number range is 1 through 50, remember.
Okay, 1 through 50. You guys, yeah, you're already going, so just go. All right, there we go.
Oh, okay. So after the go, because then that's where hi Chew, that's where I know I'm going to start
after
to look
the go. Start over again. Go. You guys were too fast.
I don't see it. Oh, I see it. Silvershire. The number 12.
There you go.
So if you want me to explain the numbers, I have a reason behind my numbers too, and I probably won't be able to use them ever again. 33 for Larry Bird and number 12 for Tom Brady. I'm
That's pretty original, Nick.
I'm so predictable. I'm surprised that there wasn't like tons of 12s and 33s.
You crack me up.
So predictable. I need to think of some new players.
That was pretty awesome.
Oh, I know next time what I'm going to pick now. You guys would be surprised about this one.
Yeah. So look, just start looking at the greater Boston area and jersey numbers. There you go.
Past or present, though. And we got, yeah.
So we're just about at our time. I know Nick's going to have a crazy day tomorrow. A lot of stuff coming up, and I've got a pretty good day too. Before we go, last thing I want to do is
okay, wait, we got a little bit, let's see, of a discrepancy. Okay, I see Silvershire, but I saw that he did go after go. If OC Stacker can help us on the YouTube side, but I see go and then I see Silvershire. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I misspoke. It's Candy Creek Wood Carver, that one.
Uh-oh. Let's go. The numbers can be tricky sometimes. Well, how are you showing it on your screen?
I am now showing Candy Creek. But it is after go. But if we can send them both one. I was going to donate it anyways. No worries. Okay. Well, thank you. So thank you.
I'm guessing Silvershire has a few of them.
Yes. And I'm so glad. Candy, or is it?
Do we have enough? Do we have 3 Goldbacks?
Yes, but he was going to donate it. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll be getting some more too. I think Goldbacks are great giveaways. You don't see them as giveaways very often on channels. I think Yankee was giving some away earlier today, but a lot of times you don't see that. So anyway, we'll have some fun with those in the future too.
I think I'm going to need to buy some more and educate myself a little bit more on these as well. So
I think so too, because if you can own gold and earn a yield on it and store it away and have it in a safe place, I think that's a pretty good win-win, especially if that yield is higher than your fee, which I believe it is. So it'll start compounding for you that way. Well, let's do this then, Nick. We have our show next Tuesday, everybody.
And that's going to be fun. You guys will like this one.
It is going to be fun. We will have to figure out this Thursday time. I think we may need to switch this up. We're seeming to compete a little bit with a massive channel that might be messing with that a little bit for us. So we may need to pick a different night. I'll let you guys know if Thursday is going to change. Tuesday's a great night. We'll keep going on that night for sure. But if you haven't done so already, if you go to either my channel or Nick's channel, you'll see the live stream for next Tuesday. You can go and hit the reminder so that it hits you up. It'll be 7 o'clock Pacific or 10 o'clock Eastern. And we're going to be talking about getting ready for Black Friday sales at online bullion dealers. I scored tremendous deals last year and made hundreds of dollars by flipping some gold and silver that I picked up on Black Friday. I normally would have just kept it, but I needed to liquidate it, and it worked out for me. All right, what do we have here? Yeah, I think that was a comment from before.
Good night, Blue Moon Bee. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, I had fun on this one. I know I have a lot to learn, but I'm willing to learn, and I'm anxious to learn about it.
I think it's great. Well, Nick, I think we ought to call it a night. And let's see what we have. One
Okay.
question here. Big
So
test
B3
unit.
says give it to Craig. So Craig, I've put my email in the chat. So just email me your address and I will get these out Saturday because I got a long day at work tomorrow. And good night, OC Stacker, even for your Mac Jones coming. But it wasn't going to be 10. I promise you I was not going to do 10.
So big test unit. It's going to be the first person that had that 12. I don't know. It looked like on Nick's screen it was coming up that you were later on.
No, yeah, but we've got that straightened out. So Seymour,
good.
I wish I could share, but it's a little bit more of a I'm keeping that private, a little bit private. People on Nick's channel don't see the people on Surfer's channel, and that could have been the discrepancy as well. But we do see everyone on both channels within our in our
Yep.
StreamYard. So we do see that.
So.
But thank you, Jack, for recognizing that.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We'll see you again on Tuesday. And until next time, peace out.
Thank you.